بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of Hadith 24, which is about different types of knowledge. 23 was about different types of seekers of knowledge. Now it's about different types of knowledge. As you remember, the Hadith from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was based on a story that Rasulullah saw people have gathered around a person whom they consider to be Allama. And when Rasulullah said, what is the meaning of Allama? What do you mean by Allama? They said someone who knows genealogy of Arabs, incidents, events, and poems of Arab in the time of, for example, Jahiliyyah and the like. And Rasulullah said, knowledge is one of the three. Ayatul muhkama, sunnatun qa'ima, faridatun adila, which was interpreted as aqaid, akhlaq, and fiqh. Everything else goes back to these three, and if it's not going back to these three, it's a fadlun, it's a merit, it's good to know, but those things which are necessary for everyone are those three. Aqaid, which can be studied in kalam, in philosophy, part in irfan, then akhlaq, which is about the soul and the virtues and the vices, and practical rulings which we learn in fiqh. Now there is a new chapter under Hadith 24, and here Imam Khomeini mentions something about the reason aqaid is introduced as ayatun muhkamah. Ayah means sign. Muhkamah means firm. He wants to reflect on the concept of ayah and then muhkamah. Aqaid must serve as a sign for understanding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, if we are satisfied with learning new concepts, new classifications, new terminology, new rules and regulations and principles and laws of different disciplines, getting certificates or recognition, but we are not really learning something about God, we are not becoming more aware of God, more conscious of God, then we are not really benefiting from this aqaid, from this science, from this knowledge. So if the reason, the intention for learning is wusul bihaq ta'ala, reaching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and acquiring attributes of Allah, those attributes which are common between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like knowledge, like hikmah, wisdom, patience, many attributes of Allah are also good for us. There are some exclusive ones that can only be suitable for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like kibriya, to be great. It's only for Him. If we want to be great, then it becomes istikbar, because we are not really great. A finite, limited, needy, dependent being, when assumes the position of greatness, then becomes very, actually, little and more, much smaller. So if our intention from learning these sciences and disciplines is to know more Allah and to become more similar or resemble him more, then this is good. Otherwise, it becomes hijab, it becomes a veil. It would not help, and indeed would cause more problem. If you learn these things and don't have right and sincere approach, you would not remain the same. It's not that you are not using this knowledge and remain the same. No, if you don't use it, they become veil. Like for example, if there is a glass, I have a pair of glass. If I don't use it properly, then it's actually better if I see without the glass, because this glass can cover my sight, my vision. So he refers to this ayah in the Holy Quran, Surah Taha, verse 124. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. من أعرض عن ذكري فإن له معيشة ضنكا ونحشره يوم القيامة أعمى. Whoever turns away from my remembrance, he has a narrow, a very difficult life, and we will resurrect him on the day of judgment as blind. قال رب لما حشرتني أعمى. Then he would say to Allah, oh Allah, why you resurrected me blind? وقد كنت بصيرا. I was able to see in dunya. Why now I am not resurrected in the same way that I used to be? قال كذلك أتتك آياتنا فنسيتها. This is similar to what happened in dunya. Our signs, our communication used to come to you and you forgot them. كذلك اليوم تنسى. Now you are forgotten. So this is a question of ayah. If you don't see ayah as ayah, if you don't use ayah as ayah, if you don't use knowledge as a way of understanding better, and just start worshipping this sign, being pleased with this, you are happy that you have a degree or certificate, or I don't know, you know some books and some names and some concepts, then you would be unable to see. And then Imam Khomeini explains that in dunya, this person has good sight, physical sight. Maybe he even doesn't need glasses. But the vision in the hereafter is not the vision of the physical head, vision of these eyes. The vision is the vision of heart. So if in dunya, my heart was open, my heart was awake, my heart was seeing the truth and committing to the truth, then on the day of judgment also I will be resurrected as someone who can see. Otherwise I will be resurrected as someone who is unable to see. And please always remember something that we had also before, that in that world, physics follows spirit, body follows soul. If your soul is blind, your body will be blind. If your soul is not blind, your body will not be blind. So it's not like dunya. Dunya, whether you are very good or bad in your soul, it doesn't make quick or immediate impact on the body. In the long term, yes, but not in a direct, quick way. So maybe a person in dunya has dead heart and cannot see anything, has no insight, no basira, but his physical eyes are okay. Because in dunya there is no match necessarily. There is interaction, but there is no match that any condition of the body would match similar condition in the soul. But in the hereafter, the soul makes the body. So if you have a strong soul, then it makes body strong. And since the soul of mu'min is young, always young, in the heaven, body of mu'minin also looks young. This is why we say there will be no old person in the heaven, because every person who goes to heaven has a young heart and therefore has a young body. So all the people who are supposed to go to heaven, then they will go there with the age of their soul, not with the age of the body. Therefore, they will be young in heaven. Now, Imam Khomeini says, if we have learned knowledge properly for the sake of understanding Allah better, for the sake of obeying Allah, pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bringing good, then we should seek light. We should find light in our heart. Our akhlaq should be better. And above all, maybe we can refer to this ayah, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. The only people who have awe towards Allah, have proper fear, are ulama. So alim must be a person who has khashya. If I have ilm and no khashya, if I have ilm and I'm not humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is not ilm, this is pseudo knowledge. Pseudo knowledge can actually make you arrogant, can make you proud, can make you forgetful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But real knowledge brings humbleness, brings khashya, positive fear. In Kafi, there is a hadith that Abu Basir says, I heard Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, and in some versions I heard Imam Baqir alayhi salam. سمعت أبا عبد الله or سمعت أبا جعفر. I heard Imam Sadiq, or in some version I heard Imam Baqir saying, كان أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام يقول, Imam Ali used to say, يا طالب العلم, O seeker of knowledge, إن العلم ذو فضائل كثيرة. Knowledge has many merits. Now, if you want to understand the merits of knowledge, look at this hadith. فَرَأَسُهُ التَّوَاضُعُ. Head of knowledge is tawadhu. Tawadhu is the peak. And it is interesting that you try to be low in the eyes of people. You don't seek any arrogance, any high position, but then Allah makes tawadhu of you at the top. وَرَأْسُهُ التَّوَاضُعُ فَرَأْسُهُ التَّوَاضُعُ وَعَيْنُهُ, and its eyes are الْبَرَاءَةُ مِنَ الْحَسَدِ, to disassociate yourself from jealousy. You don't have any jealousy, you don't develop jealousy. وَأُذُنُهُ الْفَهْمِ, the ear of knowledge is understanding. وَلِسَانُهُ الصِّدْقِ, its tongue is truthfulness. وَحِفْظُهُ الْفَحْصِ, if you want to preserve knowledge, you must do more investigation, more examination of the sources. وَقَلْبُهُ حُسْنُ النِّيَّةِ, the heart of knowledge is having good intention. وَعَقْلُهُ مَعْرِفَةُ الْأَشْيَاءِ, and its aql is to have understanding of things and affairs. مَعْرِفَةُ الْأَشْيَاءِ وَالْأُمُورِ. وَيَدُهُ الرَّحْمَةِ, its hand is mercy. وَرَجْلُهُ, what is the foot of knowledge? Ziyaratul ulama, to use this foot and go to take lessons from ulama and meet ulama. وَحِمَّتُهُ السَّلَامَ, and its concern is salama, it's health, any kind of health. وَحِكْمَتُهُ الْوَرَعُ, and its wisdom is piety. وَمُسْتَقَرُّهُ النَّجَاةِ, and its settling place is to be saved. وَقَائِدُهُ الْعَافِيَةِ, and the one that pushes it, it's the leader, is al-afiyah, to be in a good condition. وَمَرْكَبُهُ الْوَفَاءِ, and its ride is given by loyalty. The mule on which it walks is loyalty. وَسِلَاحُهُ لِينُ الْكَلِمَةِ, and its weapon is soft word. أولى له قولا لينا لعله يتذكر أو يخشى. So Allah said to Musa and Harun, speak softly, gently with Pharaoh. Here we say, وَسِلَاحُ لِينُ الْكَلِمَةِ وَسَيْفُهُ الرِّضَى, but its sword is what? Is to be pleased. وَقَوْسُهُ الْمُدَارَةِ, and the the thing that they use to shoot the arrow is pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sorry, the sword is pleasure of Allah, and that thing that they use to shoot the arrow is al-mudarat, to be able to cope with people. وَجَيْشُهُ مُحَاوَرَةُ الْعُلَمَاء, its army is to have conversation with ulama. وَمَآلُهُ الْأَدَبُ, or مَالُهُ الْأَدَبُ, its finance, its money is adab. Adab means etiquettes, manners. وَالذَّخِيرَةُ وَاجْتِنَابُ الظُّنُوبِ, and its reserve is avoiding sins. وَزَادُهُ الْمَعْرُوفُ, and its provision is good things. وَمَاؤُهُ الْمُوَادَعَةُ, and its water is to be able to coexist, to be able to live together. وَدَلِيلُهُ الْهُدَى, and its guide is guidance. وَرَفِيقُهُ مَحَبَّةُ الْأَخْيَارِ, and its friend is the love of the good people. So in this hadith you see that different aspects of knowledge are introduced, and we have to try to learn everything with this approach. Otherwise it becomes a veil, it's hijab. But why muhkama? Why ayatun muhkama? He says because we should not have any doubt. If you have all the time doubts, that's a problem. And this would not let you reach the level of yaqeen, certainty. If you reach the level of yaqeen, certainty, you always see the truth. Then he says, Ay Aziz, oh my dear, the whole solution is to look for proper learning and proper knowledge. Everything that you embark on learning, you must make your intention very pure. Hadith says, Man akhlasa lillahi arba'ina sabahan jarat yanabi'ul hikmah min qalbi ala lisan. We had it in this first session. If for 40 days you manage to purify yourself, the fountains of wisdom will flow from your heart to the tongue. But we have to then question ourselves. If for 40 days this can happen, what about me? 40 years I am learning, for example, and nothing is happening. If I have proper approach to the knowledge and to learning, my situation should just improve. If I don't understand day by day, at least every 7 days, every week, it should improve. There must be some difference. And then he says, in all worlds, whether it is in dunya, in akhirah, and in particular in akhirah, he talks about, barzakh, about qabr, qiyamat. So here we need really true knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as well as we have true akhlaq, but we need true akhlaq, true fiqh. Therefore, we must not compromise about that. در هر صورت ای عزیز, in all circumstances, oh dear, تو در تمام عوالم برزخ و قبر و قیامت و درجات آن محتاجی به معارف حقی الهیه. In all worlds, in barzakh and in grave and the day of judgment, you need all these firm and correct doctrines and good akhlaq, and then good practice. If you manage to get this, then the gate of guidance is open for you and you can carry on. Otherwise, you have to work hard more on refining yourself. Inshallah, we continue next session. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alam.